Hey Frank, Dennis just said that I think it was a shoot around. You had said something to the team about how you thought you were going to be able to come out and win this game. And, you felt confident in the plan. Just wondered what it was that you saw ahead of the matchup and how you thought that applied, just given all the guys that were out, right, and what the expectation on the outside might have been.
Yeah, well, I just like how our guys are playing right now. I mean, we're playing scrappy as hell defensively, and we got a lot of defensive talent in the rotation. And the way we played against Sacramento and Toronto, just wanting to hit the other team with our offense. The confidence shooting the ball from the three-point line, the extra pass mindset. Everybody playing team basketball. I felt like we could attack these guys, with that type of offense, hit them early. And, like I said all along and all season long, when we play scrappy on the defensive end, we always have a chance. So I did think we had a chance. We knew it was going to be an uphill battle. Obviously, Kyrie not being in there changed the game. Obviously, KD still getting his legs under him, so there's some other factors there. But I'm super proud of our group.
Frank, a lot of guys stepped up in various spots. THJ, the assist, Drummond inside, McLemore coming off the bench, and you can go on down the list. Are there a couple things that stood out to you from guys that you felt like you especially needed?
It's really – I haven't thought about this post-game. It's really hard to call out one or two guys. Everybody that played contributed at a super high level. Starting with Dennis early on, attacking their switches and basically scoring on every single one of them. Keith and Drum, just brought that physical presence and shot making, to the fight. KCP didn't have a great first half offensively, but he was defending his butt off, and we knew that his offense was going to come around, and he was great during that stretch. THT starting 11 assists, career high for him, and those guys off the bench. I mean, they really played their tails off. Ben coming to making 5 threes, getting red hot. Zoe McKinney did everything: offensive rebounds, low man helps, knocked down some threes. Trez, AC doing what those guys do. Just a complete team effort, and it's tough to single out one guy, in terms of call-outs.
McMiniman had mentioned the shooter the game last year in OKC. I know that you had some fun at Dennis's expense discussing that game when everybody was out, right, and you blew out the Thunder. I think it was in January. Can a win like this and having all these different guys step up, Frank, can you carry that forward from a confidence perspective as you get down to the stretch of the season?
I think so. I think every small success any group has, is a confidence booster. And you really try to highlight those and why it happened and what contributed to us playing this well. And you try to take that into the next game. That's what we did coming in today, just to paint the picture that this was going to be like the Toronto game and like the Sacramento game, and it was. This type of performance, this is 3 out of the last 5, I think, that we played this well. And, we got to carry this into the next 2 games of this trip.
Bill Laura?
Frank, what does a win like this do when you are missing, so many guys? What does it mean for your culture and kind of the trust in the locker room? I mean, I know you're just kind of talking about how it can build confidence, but in terms of other dividends that could be paid, kind of throughout the season. We've been talking about that OKC game for, more than a year now in terms of what that ended up meaning for your group.
Well, there's to me, the biggest lesson is the value in playing team basketball. It doesn't matter that the players in uniform, if everybody's competing on the defensive end and sharing the basketball offensively and playing selflessly, you have a chance to win every night. And, even if we're depleted, we have enough firepower offensively to win. You saw us make 19 threes tonight. And, we have enough defensive talent and the right scheme to compete on that side of the ball, so you always have a chance. So, I think, in answer to your question, I just think that each of these guys, Ben, KCP, Talon, guys having successful nights like that, I think that carries into their performances going forward when we become more whole, that they can come and rely on those experiences.
Hey Frank, 2 questions about one sequence in the third quarter. What did you see or hear that led to Dennis and Kyrie both getting ejected? What was your sort of experience of that? And then 2, Andre told us right after that, he kind of huddled up with the guys still on the floor and said, hey, let's lock in defensively. Did you see that, and what does that tell you when a guy who basically just walked in your locker room is doing stuff like that?
Well, Dre's gonna be huge for us, and it's great to see that type of leadership early on in his tenure here with the Lakers. But I did notice our whole group, all those guys that did not play even, Bron, AD, Duds, Kuz, Wes, Mark, like they're all active and engaged in this game, and I think those guys deserve a little credit too. And in terms of what happened, it's tough to say. I was on the other end of the floor, but it just seemed like two guys that got involved with some trash talking and couldn't let it go, after it was time to move on after the first double tech. I'm not sure exactly what happened more than that, but that's what it seemed like to me.
And Wiki?
Frank, congrats. You guys have had 3 players ejected in 3 straight games, which I think is a record this year.
Somebody ejected in the Miami game?
Markeith and Harrell.
Yes, we did. We're going to break that streak in New York.
Yeah. You 2 months ago, when before you guys played these guys, you talked about wanting to see Dennis and Kyrie. Obviously, we only got a half of it tonight, but what did you think about Dennis in that half, and the way he was able to attack Kyrie, the way obviously Kyrie played really well too? Kind of what you think of that matchup?
I love Dennis Schroeder. I think that's the first thing you have to state is his competitive spirit, his fight, his swag. I think that wins for you, and that's the preview of the matchup. I mean, that's going to be a dynamic matchup if we ever see it again this season. Two great players, that they can do it on both sides of the ball, and Kyrie obviously is as good as it gets. So you need somebody like Dennis that can hold his own defensively. No one can stop Kyrie, but you need somebody that can hold his own and somebody that can go back at him on the other end. And I thought Dennis, when before the ejection, did both of those things.
Dave McMillan?
Greg, I want to get your thoughts on 2 moments involving Andre Drummond tonight. One that we could all see and one that he just told us about. The one that we could see was him scoring on Marcus Aldridge, really just bullying him to the hoop, and then kind of punctuating that score by gesturing that he's too small to guard him. And then also, he told us that after the ejection, he rallied the guys together and told them that, hey, we got to stay together here. It's an important moment. And of course, you guys went on that run. So I just want to get your take on those 2 moments involving Drummond tonight.
Yeah, I think it's just a great early sign of his leadership, with this group. We want everybody to, we want our team to lead from every chair in the room. You know what I mean? It's not just Bron and AD, and you just see him stepping up is a great early sign for us. And there's a reason we went out and got Drum. He can do that, against opposing centers. He can beat them up with his physicality in the post or on drives on the offensive glass. And then, he can more than hold his own and guard his position defensively, as well as, all the pick and roll defensive coverages that we put him in as well. So, he's a two-way player, and it's great early sign to see him stepping up as a leader the way he did tonight.
We have time for 2 more, please. Let's go to Jordan Richard.
Hey, Coach. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about you guys shooting from 3. You shot 56% from 3 today, and just talking a little bit about being, 5 threes, corner threes, also being able to fill in off of Montrez's drive, and then also the dribble handoff. How he's been playing.
Yeah, we're working really hard with Bron and AD out to really identify the shots that we want in our offense. In particular the threes that we're looking for. And you mentioned some of the dribble handoff ones, and obviously paying for double, making them pay for double teams. But Ben's been listening, KCP's been listening. We want to shoot a lot of threes during this stretch. We want our guys to be super aggressive, and we've had every time we have a little taste of some success with it, we super highlight it, the positives of it, and reinforce it. And those are good shots. And I think Ben is a quick learner. He's a great shooter, and he's hearing like, hey, these are the shots you want me to take, like I will definitely shoot those. What impressed me about Ben's night the most is some of the bad pass threes he made. He made a three where he had to jump just to catch it and rose up. That's a hard shot. And he made another three where he had to reach down to his shoelaces and rise up, and he made that one. So he's here for a reason. We're excited to have him, and what a great night for him tonight.
Hey, let's take one final question for Coach. Let's go to Davey.
Hey, Coach. Congrats for the win. Do you agree with Schroeder when he said this is like the best win of the year? And what do you want from this win to take to the next game?
Well, yeah, I think it is. We've had some good wins, but this is what I wanted our guys reaching for in tonight's game. When you see guys out and you see a great opponent like the Nets, you can be a little bit overwhelmed and not sure if you're going to have a chance to win it. But you want to have a go after these guys mindset, and we knew coming in that if we were able to prevail shorthanded against this opponent, that it would feel good. And it would be one of the best wins of the year. So, happy about that. And what was the second part of your question?
What do you want to take from this game to the next game? What do you want to see?
Yeah, defensive scrappiness and the offensive confidence. That's been the formula for 3 of the last 4 wins, or 3 of the last 5 games we've had, where we've been able to get W's. And hopefully we can play an attack mode offensively. Punch our next opponent with our offense, get them back on their heels, and that just strengthens our defense.